Hey, this is Gary with Optimal Cruising, and today I am going to share with you exactly what I did to get not one, but two huge cruise cabin upgrades in the past 12 months. People are always asking us how to get a free cruise cabin upgrade. There's even comments on the internet going around stating that cruise lines don't give cabin upgrades for free anymore, that you have to pay for them now. But that's not always the case. There are often options where you can bid for an upgraded cabin, but there are still circumstances where cruise lines will upgrade you into a higher quality, higher category cabin for free before your cruise gets started, before you even print out your luggage tags. We're going to show you exactly how we did it so that you can follow these same steps and try to get the same upgrades for free for yourself. Now, one caution is that you have to be flexible with your travel plans. Cruise lines are not giving out these free upgrades on fully booked ships, popular travel times, summer holidays, winter holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving. Those are times when they're fully booked. And if you're booking and traveling during those seasons, it's very unlikely you'll get a free upgrade. So that's the first thing you need to know about this. But we're going to show you what dates to look at if you are flexible, where you're most likely to get those upgrades. We're going to show you exactly when we got them, what cruise line, what cruise ship, what port to sail out of. It all can make a difference, because if you go where the crowds aren't, that's where you're more likely to get upgraded for free. Now, why would a cruise line want to give you a free upgrade? Well, if they have a bunch of higher end cabins unsold, they'd rather get people into those cabins because there is a hierarchy in the cruise personnel, and the better personnel get put to take care of the more premium cabins. And if they don't have customers, they don't get tips, they don't get the compensation that they're expecting for moving up the chain, so to speak. So cruise lines want those higher end cabins full. If they have a cruise ship that's maybe half or 2/3 full and a quarter of their high end cabins are unbooked, they're going to move people into those, and they're going to do it even before you set sail. So as I indicated earlier, the first thing you need to do is look for a travel date that is not popular. Months that seemed to work for us were May and September, right before the busy summer season, but after the spring break season, and right after the busy summer season, but before the colder weather comes, when more and more people are trying to get away and maybe take a cruise to the Caribbean. And when the holidays start rolling around, also those cruise ships get booked up fast. Another time to look at is a week before or a week after the major holiday periods. So the week prior to the week that includes Thanksgiving, or the week after the week that includes Thanksgiving. And you can use that same logic for Christmas, New Year's, Easter, and sometimes those weeks that shoulder the holiday week have very low demand, and that's when you're more likely to get your free upgrade. Now, in recent years, MSC has been trying to get into the Caribbean market. In fact, they've been adding more and more ships to the area. They're a cruise line with a long history in Europe, but they've been moving into the American marketplace. However, it takes time for them to build up a reputation and a clientele. And so what's been happening on some of their sailings, especially in some of the newer ports that they've gotten into, is that their demand has been not meeting their supply. So they have a lot of empty cabins. And this is how we got a free upgrade. So the first free upgrade we got was for a cruise we booked in September, right after the high season. We knew that it was not a popular time, and we also knew that the ship was not overbooked or heavily booked, because when we looked at prices, this was the cheapest date to go. That's going to be your indicator. When you look online and you're seeing the different prices for the cruise itinerary you're interested in, you're going to see the lowest price dates, and then it's going to go up from there. Well, if you choose the lowest price week, it's more likely than not that that week's not going to be full, and there's going to be more opportunity for an upgrade, and that's what we did. So we booked in September. We picked a week with a very low price for an inside cabin, and that's what we booked, the cheapest possible category. An inside cabin where they pick it for you. And that's another thing. We book one where we don't choose the cabin, where they choose the cabin for you. That's the cheapest way to book. It's also a more likely way for you to get an upgrade, because if you're paying extra to choose your cabin, they may be less likely to move you to another cabin without your knowledge. So we booked a guaranteed inside cabin. We did not select a cabin, and approximately 2 weeks after we made the reservation, it was still over a month before the sailing, we got an email that we were automatically upgraded into an Aria balcony cabin, which is actually a step above a regular balcony cabin with some privileges to some private deck areas and the spa. And that was absolutely free of charge. We paid nothing for it. We just received an email with the free upgrade. This was the first time that it worked for us. So if it worked once, we figured why not try it again? So we went back to MSC. We booked another cruise. We wanted to do it in the spring. We ended up booking in May because that was the cheapest week we could find for the months of March, April, May. Those were the months I searched. You can easily do that on the website. You search for the months you want and you look for the cheapest week for the destination or for the departure port that you're interested in. We chose Port Canaveral. They have one sailing. MSC has one sailing out of Port Canaveral right now. They're adding another one, but at that time there was only one, and we booked the cheapest week. And again, about a month before the sailing came around, we got an email with a free upgrade to a regular balcony cabin. Now, it wasn't as great of an upgrade as the first time, but hey, we paid again only for an inside undesignated cabin and ended up with a balcony view free of charge for the entire cruise. Both of these cruises were 1 week or 7-day cruises, and both times we had to do absolutely nothing. It's just about how you plan it out, and you'll get lucky if you plan it out right. Now, of course, it's never guaranteed that you're going to get a free upgrade, but all I can do is share with you the secrets that we found out in getting these free upgrades, even today when a lot of cruise lines seem to be slowing down on the free upgrades, and it's more popular now for them to try to get you to bid on an upgrade. But there are still some ways to do it, and this is exactly how we did it. So if you want to give it a try, my recommendations would be this. Book with MSC. I think that's your most likely shot right now. And if you can, book out of Port Canaveral, because they're having more trouble getting passengers out of Port Canaveral. It doesn't seem to be the same problem with their ships in Miami. Okay, so if you want this, I would book out of Port Canaveral. I would also try New York, because they have a sailing out of New York, which is not always fully booked as well. So one of those two ports is probably your best bet, and you're going to want to go on the website like this and find the cheapest week for the time frame that you're looking for, and try to broaden that time frame as much as possible, because the cheaper fare you find, the more likely that that ship, that sailing is going to be maybe only half full, maybe only 2/3 full, but still they're going to have a lot of empty cabins, and all of those empty cabins at the higher level they're going to try to fill, and you might be the lucky passenger with a free upgrade. That's how we did it. Please comment below. Let us know if you try this strategy and if it works for you. And let us know if you've gotten free upgrades recently on another cruise line, because we'd love to check that out. Thanks for watching. People are always asking us how to get free cabin upgrades on cruise ships. And there's a lot of misleading information out on the internet, a lot of comments going around stating that cruise ships or cruise lines no longer give upgrades. But that certainly isn't true. We're living proof of it. We recently got upgraded twice in the past year, and that's what this video is about.